Georg Simmel studied a wide range of subjects at the University of Berlin. Primarily a philosopher, his publications dealt with philosophical issues. He is best known as a microsociologist who played a significant role in the development of small group research by Capel. Symbolic interactionism and exchange theory. One of his most famous writings is The Metropolis and Mental Life, published in 1903, and his best-known book is The Philosophy of Money, that is published in 1907. Simmel introduced four levels and areas of concern. First are his microscopic assumptions about psychological components of social life. Second, on a slightly larger scale, is his interest in the sociological components of interpersonal relationships. Third, and most macroscopic, is his work on the structure of and change in the social and cultural spirit of his times. This principle is adopted from Sawyer's principle of emergence, the idea that the higher levels emerge out of the lower levels. Overarching these three tiers is a fourth that involves ultimate metaphysical principles of life. Georg Simmel also coined the three problem areas in sociology: pure sociology, which are psychological variables combined with forms of interaction; general sociology, which deals with the social and cultural products of human history; and philosophical sociology, which deals with these views on the basic nature and inevitable fate of humankind.
They belong to the group and decide what purpose they have, their motives and interests. There will always be a stratification system in interacting with people, and it will collapse if the mutual interaction has stopped. The factors of having nurses from internally and externally. The people have the capacity to check out themselves for them not to be easily affected by the external factors. Due to this ability, the people can decide whether they will be enslaved by the external factors or not.
Georg Simmel is best known in contemporary sociology for his contributions to our understanding of the patterns or forms of social interaction. Interaction was one of Simmel's primary interests. He has even equated that society is only the synthesis of interactions. One of Simmel's dominant concern was that form rather than the content of social interaction. From Simmel's point of view, the real world is composed of innumerable events, actions, interactions, and so forth. To cope with this maze of reality, the contents, people order it by imposing patterns or forms on it. Thus, instead of a bewildering array of specific events, the actor is confronted with a limited number of forms. Numbers was one of the relations that interested him. The impact of numbers on the quality of interactions of people can be seen in the dyad and the triad, where in a dyad, the two individuals retain a high level of individuality. The two are separable, and there is no greater meaning beyond the two individuals. Whereas in a triad, once you add another person to the group, there is a greater chance that a meaning beyond the individual will arise. Adding a third party generally adds more social roles and possibilities. One of them can take advantage of the other, manipulate the other, become a mediator, etc. The process of a dyad of becoming a triad continues as a larger and a larger group, and ultimately society emerges. The size of the group becomes somewhat directly proportional to the individuality that a person can have. Even if society allows or promotes individuality, it also impedes it at the same time. Distance is another of the relations that interested him in social geometry. This concern with distance is manifest in various places in Simmel's work, such as the philosophy of money and the stranger, where if things are too easy to get, it has little to no value. An object is only valuable if it is attainable through great effort. And distance also plays a role in social interaction, where if you are too far away from the group, he will cease to have any contact. If he is too close, he would no longer be a stranger. But keeping the right distance away from the group allows him to have social interactions from time to time, letting the stranger be more objective with his relationship with the people in the group. There are two kinds of social forms: subordination and subordination. Subordination and subordination have a reciprocal relationship. To most people, subordination involves an effort to eliminate completely the independence of subordinates. But Simmel argued that a social relationship would cease to exist if this were the case. Simmel found subordination under an objective principle to be most offensive, perhaps because human relationship and social interactions are eliminated.
Social structures. So Simmel's definition of society is merely the number of individuals connected by interaction. Although Simmel enunciated this in interactionist position, as if society were real material structure, because in much of his work, he operates as a realist. Then there is a basic contradiction in Simmel's work on social structural level. Simmel noted society transcends individual and lives its own life which follows its own laws. It too confronts the individual with historical imperative fairness, meaning society is being coercive to the individual. To resolve the difference in Simmel's form of sociology, in which is an interactionist view of society and cause and social structure, he saw society as a part of broader process of development of objective culture, which worried him. Simmel included the growth of large-scale social structures as a part of this process. Simmel clearly stated that the increasing objectification of our culture, where phenomena consist of more and more impersonal elements and less absorb the subjective totality of the individual, also involves sociological structures. He related the growth of social structures to the spread of objective culture. So, what is this objective culture? People produce culture, but because of their ability to reify social reality, the cultural world and the social world come to have their own lives that come to increasingly to dominate the actors created. One example of objective culture is language. For example, person A and person B will interact with each other, so they need a way to communicate. After quite some time, they'll establish a language that only two of them can understand. Let us say person C will join the two. So person C should learn the language established by the two to interact with them.
Simmel was interested in the broad issue of value, and money can be seen as simply a specific form of value. So for Simmel, Simmel was interested not in money but its impact on the society as a whole. And at another level, Simmel treated money as a specific phenomenon linked with a variety of other components of life, including exchange, ownership, greed, extravagance, cynicism, individual freedom, the style of life, culture, the value of personality, etc.